Do you think that there's maybe too much emphasis for kids or young people to go to university? You know, in my day, very few people went in my circle of friends.
I think now there's too much pressure. And it's almost like you're a failure if you don't go to university. But actually the figures are, what, 36% of all students do go to university, which is phenomenally higher than 10 years ago. And when I went to university, yes, it was hard to get there. You had to pass an entrance exam, but I did have my tuition fees paid for, although I got a very, very small grant and I had to take a job. But I question now the number of degrees and their usefulness. And given that we're crying out for people with practical skills, like builders, engineers, plumbers, electricians, I just think if your child shows any aptitude in those areas, you might be better off encouraging them. And I've encouraged... I've encouraged two of my friends, teenage boys. One's is currently an apprentice with an electrician, and the other one's going to be an apprentice with a plumber. And I just think we've got to rebrand these jobs. We've got to say these are the jobs of the future.
I think as well. I think I've said this. Yes, quite. I think I've said before. You know, I would have no objection of Jack going to university, but he would have to present a very good case to me of the course he wanted to do and why, and what he was going to do with it at the end. So, you know, if we're going to spend this money on tuition fees and we're going to support you...
I know so many kids that I've spoken to who are in uni or have just finished uni, and I go, so, you know, what do you want to do? And so many go, oh, I don't know.
Yeah.
And I thought, well, why are you spending all that money at university studying something you don't even know if you want to do? That's where I get confused. Is it for them an excuse to have another 4 years of not looking for a proper job?
Well, who's going to pay for this debt? Because the average student debt now is well, I don't know how high it is, but it's well over £30,000. I mean, the idea of starting off in life when we know that young people can't find anywhere to live that they can afford, and on top of that, they've got this tremendous debt. I just think there's got to be a real reason. You've got to have a game plan, and maybe it would be a better idea before going to university to take a year out to consider all your options.
Did you want to go?
I didn't at all. I do think that now we do have a culture where it's expected. My 13-year-old daughter the other day announced that she doesn't want to go to university. She wants to start a business, and her friends reacted as if she'd, you know, I don't know what,
dropped out of school.
Yeah, exactly. And so I think we've created a culture now. Obviously, university is a lot more accessible to more people, but we have to stop treating it as the be-all and end-all. I think it's important if you want to go into certain industries, but it's not necessary to have great success. I mean, look at us.
Well,
we done right.